Uh, hey everybody, this is Granblue Radio. This is number 177 in the spirit of Magic Journal metal version. This is about remixes because well, we've got a lot of remixes coming.
Mm-hmm.
So as always, this is Vibrating Sheep, and with me this week.
You mean every week? Hi, this is DJ still. You haven't replaced me yet, so I think I'm fine.
Look, you're in Seattle. There's a lot going on up there. You could have, I don't know. Let's just not cover that yet. That's a
Yeah.
topic for another time in a private venue. Anyway, what were we doing?
Well, our agenda today is that there was two characters and one summon that was released, and then in KoreGra with patch notes.
All right, what do you want to get to first?
Let's do the things that are out right now.
Okay, so they're quote unquote easy. So we've got two new characters. Okay, so ignore the Halloween that's out right now, and let's just go to we got Light Percival, and we've got shoot, it slipped my memory already.
Satyr.
Satyr, thank you. So, I mean, I already scrolled past Satyr, so we're going to Light Percival first.
All right.
I just have to find him in the middle of all of these knights in light with swords. There he is. All right. Um, so we got Light Percival. He's dressed like an angel, like literally. It's a lot of setup for the next Dragon Knights event, very likely.
More than likely, yeah.
So if you like his lore, then you'll definitely want to watch his Fate episodes. Let's actually talk about the character himself. So, first thing to note, the word Aurora Crest.
Oh man, you mean there are more characters other than what was it, Saruman
Saruman, yeah.
that actually use crests? It's
So,
actually pretty nice.
we got ourselves, he, going back to an old joke, he's light balance. Balance style doesn't actually mean anything anymore, thank God. There is no mechanical need for this.
The only thing that matters with style is what EMPs you get, EMP skills you get.
hmm And then his specialty is sword. So, sword's kind of crowded. Um,
In white, yeah.
it's got characters like Lucio and Charlotta, um,
Sandalphon.
Sandalphon, Albert, but let's see what he can do. So his CA really really simple. He just gives himself 20% meter after it. Okay, just keep
That's
moving.
fine.
So he has a nuke that casts twice, just like Fire Percival, but the cast twice is actually only against things that are feared, and his fear is local. So you're
Mm.
reasonably getting this off once a fight, maybe twice, maybe.
Sounds always happens.
Um, but speaking of his fear, so fear has been a fundamental part of the Percival kit the entire time he's been in this game. He also gets double attack down, triple attack down,
Local.
and a dispel.
That's the big one.
So out of all of the things that we had in Light Sword up to this point, a dispel was kind of missing.
There's a lot. There was slows from Albert, and then there was just damage everywhere from everyone else.
Yeah, so we got that. Um, and then this one, he provides everybody light crests, and he gives himself Chaser just like his fire version. Okay, sure. Chaser is
Gives himself or gives everybody.
I I'm gonna have to check on that actually. I
Because
don't.
the thing is, they worded it on the wiki as all white allies get a request and chaser. But I don't have this character to confirm this.
I believe it is to everybody. So pretty good. Chaser to team. Um, the thing is that Chaser to team. Let's see. De La Fee has that. She's a sword character.
Well, Dale got changed a little bit.
Yeah, she's going to get
We'll talk
changed even
about
more.
yeah, we're gonna change. We'll talk about that one later.
Yeah.
The 11 sisters give chaser to the team.
They're also sword.
Yeah.
Wait a second. She only gives chaser to herself. Oh my god, they've changed her so many times that I've forgotten this. Huh.
Anyways,
Anyway, let's keep going. Um, so Lord Strike, which I just find funny because
it's a move
it's a
that we
move in
know.
Granblue Fantasy Versus. So he eats an Aurora Crest in order to nuke.
That
Um,
nuke also causes 10% attack down stackable.
mhm. And the thing is, the eating it requires 3 Aurora Crests, and then it will also heal him for
1500.
1500. Well, I mean, it's
Actually,
automatic,
that's
so.
it's a different move actually.
Yeah, he does not actually cast Schlacht, technically. Because this
I
is
thought it was
his.
mocked.
What?
Oh, I know. So mocked is the only one request, but when it's at 3, it costs Zerison. I can't know. I don't know if that's
Zerison?
sure. Zerison, yeah, and that's the one that heals.
Alright, so you're wanting to build up Aurora Crest on this guy, and then Lord Strike will um, use those to start healing him. And he gets skill specs up based on Aurora Crests, even when he's in sub. So, skill cap up has been getting a lot more respect in recent months, and honestly, the last year or so, especially
Yeah,
because of characters like this who just nuke at the end of the turn. They get a lot of mileage out of that.
yeah. So for each stack of Aurora Crest that your character has on them,
2%
your
cap up.
2% cap up and 10% damage up.
Hmm.
So at 5 stacks, you get 10% skill damage cap up. That sounds pretty good with the characters with skill damage.
And you don't even need to be specialty saber. It's just that it's so easy to get a light Ultima sword, or like an Ultima sword, and put skill cap on it.
Hmm.
Because sword is already the most common weapon type in the game. Skill cap is just generically useful on pretty much every sword team now. And characters like this just make it way better.
Hmm.
And so, yeah, he does things even when he can't fear something, which is nice. Like it's a big flaw of the original Percival, where they've had to make more and more things immune to petrify.
And when you do that, you kind of invalidate a character,
It's
really,
like
if
this,
that was their only thing.
yeah. The gaining 2 Aurora crests doesn't actually work. Um, it doesn't activate twice, so it just slows him way the hell down, unless something can actually be petrified. But they
Also,
also have to be petrifiable a second time to get more than that.
I don't know. It's really weird though that they're trying to force that Aurora Crest thing on him, but he's gonna lose a Aurora Crest every turn if he has at least one.
Yeah, but hey, the light crest giving weapon is a sword, so you can also main hand the Opus, get
That's
crest
also
that way
true.
too.
You're right, but you're pretty much never gonna see him at 5. You'll see him for half a second at 5.
You'll see him at 3, and then it goes down to 2, and then it goes
Well,
back
no,
to 3.
no, it consumes when it's at 2 and 1 as well.
Yeah.
It just says at end of turn activates mocked unless he has 3 or more. Then he activates the other one.
Jeez. That's so complicated.
Technically, I think you really at the very beginning of the fight, you kind of want him to be at 1 and 2 so he can actually get the stacking attack down.
It's just so hard to get him to 3 without specifically just like having an external source of crests. Like
Yeah,
you have to summon Heimdall,
yeah,
or
really.
have main hand Opus sword with a like berserker.
Okay, let's be honest. This thing only heals for 1500. It's not that great to look at in first place.
Yeah, just don't do it.
You just take what you can.
Hmm. But anyway, so the character himself, pretty sick.
Yeah,
But yeah, the light skill specs based on number of Aurora crests, that's more for the rest of the team than him.
yeah.
And we keep saying, just
Kind of made a character that's really good nuking. So
Just have to use Flowery 7.
yeah,
Alright, anything else to say about Percival?
nope.
Alright, let's go back to Satyr. So, Satyr is a very specific response to a way that they've started designing bosses in this game. So,
Yes. Oh, she has actually pretty good. All things considered,
she's Staff Sword. So, Fire Staff and Fire Sword are very, very different teams.
and they're both really good teams.
They are. Um, but yeah, so first thing that I want to talk about is Primal Pals Unite and Prima Primal. So, Primal Pals Unite. Gain these effects in order based on number of Primal main allies. So it's wind damage reduction, boost to charge bar gained on taking damage, and revitalize, like permanently.
Does quick question?
What's up?
Does Game with or some other site have numbers on these ones yet?
I would have to check, which I did not before this one. But
Because the wiki does not have numbers on this. That's why I ask.
um, the thing is, let's see here. So she is. It gives it to herself on attack, right? Or yeah, charge bar fills up
During
100%
attack
faster from
phase,
damage
yes.
taken. The revitalize is 500, and 20% reduced wind damage taken. So the thing is that none of these are game breaking, thankfully. Like boost
Mm-hmm.
to charge bar gained on taking damage. Like, doesn't one of the Choco Cats have that?
Maybe? I don't remember.
It used
That-
to be like that. Then they changed Maloo. Jesus, I'm remembering old
Uh,
designs.
I think Boar has it when you use skill 3.
hmm It's a pretty rare effect. But you know she has substitutes, so it is important to her. And then,
She can actually take it. Yeah.
mhm. But like it encourages you without forcing you to. And thankfully, it's not her only support skill. So honestly, like you can just pretend that like if you have another primal, then she'll get more meter sometimes. Otherwise, she just plain takes less wind damage than normal.
Okay.
And then the other thing is that Prima Primal, you have to understand how Twinkle Stars work. She starts with 2, she can go up to 3, um, and the Twinkle Stars get used by her skills. They get restored by her CA, so you can
Hmm.
pretend that she's Madara, but she has a higher cap than Madara does. And then when a foe does a special attack, she casts her heal, and she ends the cooldown on her substitute.
So this is actually like actually, then,
hmm
with that part.
Yes. And then, so her summon is very useful for this stackable attack defense down. It does fire damage, sure, whatever.
You're really using it for the attack defense down.
Uh, Importantly, if you're up against the freaking proud boss of um, the current event, it's not blue. And if you really, really wish it was blue, like fire has so few debuff skills, it's actually insane.
Yeah, it does have few Dio skills. I tried that fight and I got scared.
So anyway, this uses a Twinkle Star to do double attack defense down. Um, it's let's see here. It goes down to 30%, and it's
That's standard.
10%. It's standard
That's
unless
pretty
you're
standard.
Urius.
Yeah.
But anyway, so you can start out pretty well with her on turn 1 because she starts with those 2 stars. She can double cast this, and if you've ever played with Lily, double casting your stackable attack defense down is a blessing. All right, so Innocent Heart is sort of the signature skill here. It's the one thing that she does that no one else does right now. It's only something that is associated with bosses, um, and um, things that accelerate just the world in general, like Clarice, Ray, the end phases of Lucilius. So
Gacha.
yeah, so it's a heal to herself. If she has a Twinkle Star, it heals everybody. So that's the Ko effect again. So this is still the Ko design. And
Hmm.
then instead of clarity, it cuts all debuff durations by 2 turns. And this is important because if you go to a certain what is it, Long Live the King
Love
fight,
King
there's a couple of debuffs that cannot be removed.
removed. Oh, you mean you don't like being locked out 15 turns on on your summons?
It's 12 turns, I thought. It's a lot of turns.
It's a lot of turns.
The other ones that I can think of that like can't be removed are
But are able
permanent.
to fall off. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so it's like death ineluctable and stuff like that. So it's just weird. But then again, a lot of debuffs are only 3 turns long anyway. Like your
Hmm.
standard debuff lasts 3 turns. Things like attack down, multi attack down, like there's somewhere between like 1 and 5 turns. And so for a lot of those, it's basically the same as claritying it.
So I like this note on the wiki for this part.
Mhm.
Is that A, it does not reduce anything to 0 turns. It will put it at minimum 1.
Mhm.
And B, things that's like debuffs like death that activates after a certain amount of turns does not get affected by the skill. So it can't just, speed up your death time.
All right. And then yeah, so this is substitute and wind damage lowered. Um, it's all right.
I mean, it's 80% wind damage lower. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And especially since she's supposed to be getting meter faster if she's being hit.
Mhm. Um, but yeah, let's go back to her specialties a little bit because it's like so a defensive character in Sword, she's actually up against Siegfried. And I feel like Siegfried's gonna win out on unless you're using both of them, in which case it's fine. Um, but she does something that Siegfried doesn't, where she actually affects debuffs.
Mm-hmm.
For staff, she's up against, let's see, who are the defensive staff
Magisa.
characters?
Oh yeah,
Magisa.
not
She works with Magisa in order to
at
just
least.
stack defense down and anything that get a lot of the debuffs that cannot be removed get through Veil anyway. So she will spend a lot of time like taking off the stuff that Magisa can't get off of you.
Okay.
Um, so
EO.
that's a decent synergy. Summer EO's not bad, but I wouldn't probably use
I
her
still
very
probably
much.
I
It's
would
like,
probably use Satyr over her. Yeah.
yeah, Shiva's, in spite of having like one defensive ability, I wouldn't say that Shiva and Satyr necessarily um, do the same thing or even work vaguely like each other. So if you want, you can use both of them. And
Hmm.
Shiva's staff, she's he'll give her the second one where she'll get extra meter from getting hit. That's one of them that's actually gaining extra meter. It's unlike Shiva.
Hmm.
But yeah, she does interesting things. I don't have her yet. I don't see where I'll be using her either, though, because
I'm just waiting for an Emonade video.
I'm waiting for an Emanate video too. Because the thing is, so a lot of the things that we've been talking about with the part where she gets wind damage reduction, but she has this innocent heart which works really well against things that are on the really hard bosses where they're not necessarily doing um, wind damage to you, means that you're probably going to have to use her with Athena in order for her to actually live through these things. Because it
Mm.
doesn't matter if she's taking 80% less wind damage if,
If it's not wind.
it's not wind. So it's like, so now you're already stuck on Satyr Athena. I mean, that's not necessarily the worst thing, but
Primal Pals. Yay.
yeah, that's an extra thing in her favor. But I don't know. It's hard to figure out the exact situation where Satyr shines. Like, there's a bunch of different ways that where she can be good, but I don't know. There's a lot of defensive utility that Fire already has that it's hard to find a
To
spot for her
overcome
for.
them. Yeah.
But she's cool. I'm glad she got a character, and this is definitely unique. This is one of those things that we'll have to keep an eye out for because this design is not to be sniffed at because, well, every time that Bubs does something angry, uh, then a lot of the debuffs that he puts on you will just be less disgusting. You'll go down to,
Hmm.
10 turns without summons, 8 turns without summons, 6 turns without summons. You'll be able to summon something again like 6 turns early. That's not wrong. It's not bad.
Hmm.
Anything else?
That's about it for her.
All right. So the last thing that we will talk about in terms of new stuff is
Oh
um,
god.
one of my least favorite cards from Shadowverse because this thing killed so many of my dudes. The OWLCAT. Well, it was Peckish OWLCAT in Shadowverse.
Still the same thing.
Yeah. I love the flavor text. How'd this critter end up like this? It's not really an owl, is it? It's not much of a cat either. Then again, it's got kitty brain, so it's probably more cat than bird. But it does have a respectable wingspan, so I can see an argument in favor of its avian side too. What's it matter? A primal beast of its nature couldn't give a rat's behind what we mortals think anyway.
I'm just still gonna say I probably blame the Empire still.
It's all the Empire's fault. So, this is the latest in the red hair series. So now Wind has its red hair. It's got CA meter up at the start of the fight, boost to CA damage, and then its summon effect is for the first and third positions in your party get Chaser,
30% at 3-star, 20% otherwise.
and a boost to multi attack in the second and fourth positions because
It's
it's
called half
dual
and
neutral.
half.
It's half and half. It's true.
And as a sub summon, 15% HP, up to 25% 3-star. That's not bad.
Yeah. Um. Also, I mean, just look at this thing. It's so good. I just wish that it stopped killing all of my wards.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's not. We're not playing Shadowverse right now.
But I have these war wounds. This post Shadowverse trauma.
There's only one thing in this game that has ward, and it's Bellringer Angel.
Yeah, you're right. All right. But yeah, OWLCAT's great. It's like we got ourselves a freaking. So it's the horse of Lubu and later Guan
Lubu.
Yu. The what was the water one again? It was the jellyfish that everyone is horny for. Charybdis. And now we've got an OWLCAT. Cause I guess they wanted an OWLCAT. Good job, OWLCAT.
I'll let them rock.
Yeah. All right, on to the meat of this episode. We got a lot to cover, and we're gonna try and go fast.
All
Uh,
right, KoreGra.
KoreGra. All right, all right, all right. Uh, let's go to Grand Cipher and do this instead of going to
Twitter.
Twitter. All right.
What are your slew of tweets?
All right. So we've got ourselves KoreGra for June. It starts with Rise of the Beasts. We got a gold brick. Okay.
I need that. I do need this.
I mean that's fair. This is something that I'm excited for. So June 9th is a big day. We get Pride of the Ascendant. And it's been a while since our last Pride of the Ascendant. It was the Great Wall.
Great Wolves last time, yeah.
Um, now it's the Violet Knight. He's gonna be water.
And I'm not gonna be able to clear it because my Earth sucks.
Maybe, but I mean, if your water sucked, you could still actually kind of beat the Great Wall pretty reasonably just by doing the mechanics right, which was
That's true.
something that I could not say for Gilbert.
Gilbert is BS. Let's be honest. Even with a good grid, his mechanics suck.
Even with a good grid and the best characters, it's just like, oh, I made a mistake. I've lost 20 minutes of my life.
And also, don't forget the right summons. Yeah, the right. If you had the right summons, it made it easier.
All right. Anyway, so um, another thing that this is kind of a just a cleanup thing. They will no longer have the Pride of the Ascendant just clogging up the special quests screen. They're going to turn into their own quests.
Okay.
They're just going to move from the special quest screen to the map. That's all. It'll up the number of quests that you've cleared by 4 if you've done all of them so far, and then another 2 if you do these next 2. But I just like these design. I like the concept of the Pride of the Ascendant where it's solo challenges. It's just like Proud. It's just that now there's Proud and Proud Plus, and they're there to test their boss design against
Hmm.
certain elements. All right. Next up, the 5-star Xeno Axe and a Xeno Ifrit summon.
What
Um,
they're gonna do with the Xenoaxe?
that's a very good question.
Because the problem with the Xenoaxe right now, it's not a bad weapon by any means. It gives you great main hand effects.
It defined fire for years.
However, there's a different EX weapon you can have right now.
Which one? The Soul Remnant, which is also an
Soul
axe.
Remnant. Yeah, that was the main point of that.
I was gonna say, also the Opus is an axe as well. Don't forget that one.
Yes.
So it's got some competition, is what you're trying to tell me.
Uh-huh.
We'll see what happens. Like, yeah, the 5-star version of an Infernal Flame Scythe, it's got a lot to go up against because the 4-star Astral weapon is relatively achievable. Like,
Yeah. And
relatively.
also it's pretty good multiplier. Really good multiplier.
Mm-hmm. 37%.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
It's a lot. It's a lot of percent. Unite and fight changes. Um, the play again button is going to be nice quality of life. They're moving some stuff around in the honors rewards. They've upped the amount of EXP you get for upgrades in boxes 46 and above. They also included a note about like we're sorry if we alienated people with the box 10 and above. Um, changes like the comments about box 10 and above, blah blah blah. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not personally interested in that apology. Um, I'm sure some people were very interested in that apology, but they're just like, let's all keep playing Granblue and look. This is a flawed design. I'm pretty sure they know about the design being flawed. They're working on just creating a what do I call it? Like a release valve, something that kind of gets this to be a little bit less important in terms of just earning the exclusive rewards to it
Hmm.
via whatever that new event is, which is probably the Tower of Babel. So hopefully they can untie some more rewards from this thing. That's my
I
hope.
forget at the end of the Bub story, did they show Tower of Babel?
They showed a tower being formed out of rubble.
Okay, yeah, and it was literally Tower of Babel. Let's be
Hmm.
honest. It was the same formation as in Granblue Versus.
Yeah. All right. Um, Tier 4 class monk. So they said they
Woo!
wanted to do something with fists, and here it is. So we've got a monk. You got big old metal balls, and for some reason a club counts as a staff.
Uh, Last time I checked, that spike bat was a sword.
Also, other clubs count as axes. Just don't worry about it.
Anyways,
So it's going to be staff melee. Staff already has a very defensive class in, well, two very defensive classes in Necromancer and Sage. It has one offensive class in Warlock. Necromancer kind of also counts as
I was to
offensive
say,
if you just
like
all you want to do is
just
swing.
chaser.
Hmm. But I'm looking forward to it. I just enjoy new classes. I don't feel like this is going to be as well received as Lumberjack, but it takes a lot for something to be as well received as Lumberjack.
Lumberjack was really good. Let's be honest.
Yeah. June uncaps. So we've got 7 uncaps coming in. So De La Fee,
Original Lights specifically.
yes. We'll get into that later because she is going to get another redesign. This is got to be like her second or third
So
round of rebalances. It's
she
been a
really
lot.
did need it.
And then all of the crest summons. So Surtur, Longji, Dogu, Elil, Heimdall, and Nyarlathotep. The last time they did a batch of 6 uncats like this, if I remember right, was the Mega Bunkle series, which are still used to this day. They're still very useful. The crest summons are also very useful and get more useful every time they add something with crest mechanics, like Percival. And honestly,
You forgot about the Primal series.
yeah, that's true. The Primal series all got their 4 stars at the same time. That's fair.
Yeah.
God, we've been playing this game a long time. Anyway,
Yeah,
um,
we have.
other updates. So we've got one of the oldest exploits in the game is getting removed. So remember that we used to do this against. It was Leisha. It was Story Leisha, wasn't it? With her wind barrier.
I forget. I have not done story fights in a long time.
But now it's most popular as Cantankerous Leopard, where it's like, you know what?
Let's not deal with this
Let's
right
not
now.
deal with this repel. So you just start the fight with Cantankerous Leopard. You return to your homepage. You leave that thing alone for 2 hours.
You go play like I don't know Shadowverse or something.
You go play something else, anything else. You come back, and the Cantankerous Leopard's dispel has fallen off
And
because
Nier's probably dead.
Nier gets 1 turn if you're using Nier. But yeah, all of those buffs just time out on their own because they didn't expect people to just leave a timeless, a no time limit. Let's be very specific about this. A no time limit quest, just sitting around and then come back to it later when all the buffs had expired. Uh, so I understand why. It's for server cleanup reasons. No reason to have like hundreds of just quests lying around unfinished for hours, sometimes forever. Because sometimes you just come back a couple days later.
Yeah.
But it's gone. I understand why it's gone. I'm a little sad that it's gone.
Well, can't take our leopard at the rate we're at right now. It's not that as bad as it used to be.
If you're still just getting into Arcarum, it's still really bad though. It's
Yeah, but one of the things is that they've been giving us a lot of freebies. Like they've given us a lot of free claws
mhm.
that you just attack them normally, and now you're suddenly more powerful.
The biggest thing that made the Cantankerous Leopard less obnoxious is that they gave us 20 more turns to use in Arcarum.
That's also true
Because the fact that it has a permanent
before.
repel that you can't do anything about, unless you're doing like really big damage, then it's just cutting so much of your damage. It's just like, I hate this. I hate this, I hate this, I hate this.
At least he only reflected a certain amount of damage,
hmm
unlike certain other things for repels.
Old, what is it, Marigna and Old Medusa, where you just murder yourself?
Oh, it's not even old Marigna. It's still Marigna.
That's fair.
Medusa definitely though was changed.
hmm Alright, so GBF Handbook, people keep complaining about certain grids where they'll nitpick about them. They're adding a like function to it. There's a little thumbs up here that you can see. So it's like, hey, here's the fire the sample fire grid. It has 30,000 likes. Here's the sample magnifier grid. It has 99,999 likes. They've promised that they're gonna go in and they're gonna see which ones are liked the most, and they're going to clean out the ones that are not liked.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They're redesigning the horrible cluttered mess that is the treasure trade section of the shop. It's really long overdue. Like, let's just go into the shop right now and be like, all right, DJ, where do you expect to?
Flawless
Let's
prisms.
say, no, prisms are one thing, but it's like, what about weapons? Where do you get a weapon from? Where do you buy a mistress staff from?
You go to the far left one.
Uh-huh.
You go to weapons,
Uh-huh.
and then I hope and pray I find it correctly, because I don't know where it is at that point.
Uh, is it primal weapons? Nope.
No,
Is it a beast weapon?
it's
No.
definitely not a beast weapon.
Is it is it just plain under all weapons?
Is it even under elements? Or
I don't know.
oh wait, it might actually be in the other tab.
See?
It might actually be in the second tab.
Under treasure?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know. This quiz is hard.
This quiz is super hard. Like they just plain gave us a skill level 10 Mishra staff a while ago because they're just like, look, nobody has this thing. Is it under other? No. Where is everything? I don't know. I can't tell you. I've been playing this game 5 years. I can't tell you where that stuff is.
To be fair, this is not as bad as it used to be, at least. But it still needs fixing.
So they're going to redo it so that there's 4 categories. This will, instead of quest items, this will just say items and other. Then instead of this will be still be treasures, but it will only refer to the well, actually, it'll still be mostly the same, but rearranged. Um, then there will be weapons as its own tab instead of
Okay.
events, and then upgrader skill items and etc. So it's and then sell will no longer be here. Like this sell thing will just get wrapped under items. All of these weapons that we don't know where they are. Is it under relics? No, 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 that's not
No,
it.
definitely not relics. It's definitely not under draconic weapons.
Is it just gone? Can you no longer just trade for it? I don't know. I can't tell.
Did
I
you
can't tell
buy
you.
all your Mishra weapons? It's in all?
Is it in all? Yeah, it is. It's right there. There we go. Requirements to unlock. Trade Mithra. Uh-oh. Okay. New quiz. Where do you trade for Mithra?
Is it under summons?
There is a summon section. Hey, I can trade for Mithra. All
Alright,
right.
that one was easier.
All right. So anyway,
That was dumb puzzling.
I hate it. I hate it. I really want to redesign it, but they're doing it this month, hopefully. Um. All right. The next thing is story is getting updated. It's been a while.
I mean, they did say they were going to update it less, but put more chunks in.
Yes, this is 8 chapters at a time for this one. It's gonna have Lejos and I forget her name. Um, and it's got let's see, I can't remember which knight that is. It's another potato. Um, Another thing is because we're at over 130 chapters of story, they're going to be putting in a limited form of main quest skip where you just skip to a certain part that they're willing to let you go up to, and then you get a summary of what happened in between. Yay!
Okay.
Uh, we've got ourselves just a bunch of promotional stuff at the end. The only one that I really want to show.
It's chunky.
Look at him! Look at this! He's so fat! He's so fat, DJ! Look at him! He's like a light bulb! How is that different from what we have now? It skips a lot of it. Not just one episode at a time. It will just skip. So it'll skip entire chapters. It will
Instead
also
of having to
give
go
you
through each
all of
card.
the. It will also give you all of the rewards at once. Other than that, that's pretty much it for KoreGra.